Welcome. We are live at the sanctuary. We are live on Patreon, but we're also connecting to YouTube. We're kind of starting to come out in different venues as the space is ready for more people to come in. So we are talking about the ease of life. That is the teaching that I am bringing, the teaching that helps people to move in and to connect to the space, this gateway that I have opened that is available for everybody to open. So welcome. And we will continue going live on Patreon more. And if you are wanting to come along, check out that portal, that venue. Today we are at a new day. We are, after 25 years, kind of building up towards kind of being seen as the simplicity has kind of arrived. This teaching has kind of gone through a process within my body, as it will go through a process in your body. That is why it kind of, when I talk about 25 years, it's because it has to grow. Whether you are more physically connected, spiritually connected, emotionally connected, mentally connected, sexually connected, or soulfully connected. Like all these are like different gates within our body that can help us to kind of feel and be and thrive and understand. Now, for most people, we're not aware of these gates, all of them. We are mostly just kind of seeing through the one gate that we kind of are connected to. So the purpose here is to kind of bring you a bigger picture, helping you to see it from the divine, help you to see it from being, so that you can start to come in, as I have, start to see that we have to dare to look beyond our current status, our current self. This is kind of what I started doing 25 years ago when I entered into chiropractic. And I realized that even if I was a young man, healthy seemingly, strong, fit, etc., then suddenly from the chiropractic's point of view, it seemed like my body was kind of more frail and it was more tense than what I kind of originally thought. So it kind of opened me up. It made me kind of vulnerable that there's other ways of looking at life. And when I started to realize that that we're actually looking at life through gates, we can also, through the mind. I was looking at through more the mind's eye, myself, as like my older brother was deaf, so I had my first language in a way was sign language, which is more the physical, but it is kind of more expanded mentally. It's like reading and experiencing and sensing from more like kind of almost a telepathic way. Kind of when you go back now, it's like sometimes you could see like when me and my brother together, we're just kind of just almost like in a bubble energetically together. But in a way, that is what you are with your mom. That is what you are with family. That sometimes you are with a lover, different things. So we have these bubbles where we are more connected, more physically connected, more sexually connected, more spiritually connected, more mentally connected, more emotionally connected sometimes with your girlfriends. So these connections is kind of, helps us to realize, you know, that we can all just be at ease together in different ways with different people, because we connect differently with the father, with the mother, with a sister, with a girlfriend, with a kid. So these are also kind of different gateways, so to speak. So there's many kind of gateways that I'm kind of talking about, and I'm kind of talking using these words so that people can become aware of this way of perceiving, because this is when I started seeing it became easier to just see that there is more growth to be had. A lot of times we feel like, oh, I have seen everything I need to see. That sometimes can limit you from kind of continue to grow and continue to go deeper. When I realized that, wow, I've just scratched the surface, that suddenly there arose these emotions within me that I never really perceived myself to have. I had kind of just my enlightenment process had kind of started already when I was little, since I'm kind of like coming into this world. My mom and dad and my brother, they were kind of in this trauma of my brother becoming deaf, and my mom and dad becoming being a nurse and a doctor. They kind of felt like they had failed when he got meningitis, and that they should have, trusted themselves or my mom's intuition, etc. But so me connecting with the space, there was a lot of emotions there. And it was almost like they were not really listening to each other when they talked. So it was confusing because they got offended by stuff that the other one didn't say, but they felt the emotion. You can, my brother, like a baby or a kid, they can use sadness, or they want desperation, they want something, and they act up, and then the parents, they react in their wound, and they're like they get more sad, and then they start fighting in between themselves, and then they reacting illogically. So me seeing this already when I was little, I got to kind of distance myself, and I just perceived them. So I was already kind of in this place of no thought already. So I kind of went from mind into spirit into no mind. So I had that already from little. So for me, I was pretty fine my whole kind of. I wasn't really looking for anything like this until I realized my body felt fine too. So I never really had any pains or any problems, and I was pretty agile, and I felt pretty at ease, or I didn't really think about ease at all. But when I suddenly then saw the X-rays that some chiropractors do, and especially in chiropractic school, then I had all these degeneration and calcifications in my spine, which and all the spines were kind of distorted, which kind of was weird because I was feeling so great. So there was suddenly realized that I was feeling just like my parents and my brother. I was feeling something, but that was not necessarily what the body was doing or saying. So I was not able to listen to the body. So then that's like a wake up call to be like, huh, wow, I'm so good at perceiving things. But here it seemed like something I was not able to perceive. So suddenly I felt stupid. Suddenly I felt like, wow, even I had levels of like not recognizing or like not able to perceive. So then I met this Tai Chi teacher. They're like doing these slow motion. And he was kind of telling me to relax, which then I realized maybe there's others Because first I realized that it seemed like everybody's body, even if they went to the chiropractor all the time, or like everybody at that school, everybody had these distorted things. So it seemed inherent to humanity. Like everybody was built up or had this, you know, disease or tension inside. But then I realized that suddenly there was an awakening. Well, hold on. This teacher seemed to say that I had to relax. And so he was also hearing something that I wasn't hearing. He seemed to imply that I was not relaxing, but I could not hear that. But it kind of connected the dots that, hold on. So there's much underneath the surface that I have not experienced yet. That's when it suddenly opened up to be like, oh, and there seems to be someone that can guide me, seemingly, or at least that this was something that was manageable, or like that somebody was perceiving something. So as I kind of opened up to that, then suddenly that's when I kind of had an out of body experience where I kind of opened up and kind of suddenly perceived my body from kind of outside, and saw that the body was alive, and it was kind of listening. It was kind of built. It was kind of storing everything that I wasn't letting through. You know, even when you distance yourself from something, you're not really releasing it. Or sometimes when you're just indulging yourself, you're not releasing it. Or if you're just placing it and managing it, you're not releasing it. So it suddenly opened me up that if I return to that nature, that relaxed nature of being, if I do to open up that will actually help my body to find relaxation. So then that was interesting, because then through these years as a chiropractic student, we work on each other all the time. We're like having to figure out this stuff, so we get to know our spines really well, and other people's well too. So when I noticed then that most of the other people, even like now 20 years later or 25 or whatnot, they seem to have the same locks in their body. They have to get in once a week, adjusted, boom, 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 and then it falls back in, and it falls back in. But even like after like a year or a few months and whatnot, when I started this process, that suddenly the ones that worked on me, they started noticing that my body seemed to get softer. It started to seem to operate kind of differently. So this was strange to them, but it totally made sense for me. Gave me a validation of, of what that this isn't just in my head. Because I was like, well, how do I know if I'm just not just out of my mind? I'm pretty stubborn and pretty logical in a way sense. So, and I don't really believe in anything. So I wasn't believing in Christ or God or any like spiritual stuff. I was like, that seems like, why are people believing in stuff? But here I had something that I could look at, and I could get validation from somebody that didn't know. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing, that I was doing. That's why I usually say, like, you don't, people won't necessarily understand it. They have to kind of calm themselves. So sometimes it's better not telling everybody about it. They won't understand it anyway. Anyway, so I was kind of then getting this validation that there was my tendons, my spine, my subluxations, my locks, my blockages, everything was like releasing as I went on this journey. A journey that, of course, I will talk more about as people kind of come to levels and people give me feedback in different questions. I kind of bring them into this. That's why on Patreon and stuff, then the sanctuary, when what you give me feedback, that might, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time to address that aspect of it. There's much that I haven't really talked about too much, but all in due time. So with that said, if you want to watch the rest, the next part, come into the Patreon sanctuary whenever you see this on YouTube, because this is going to be on YouTube as well. And we will continue down, because this is kind of part of a deeper talk, a deeper connection. And you might feel it right now. So you might already feeling some kind of attraction to it. But here in the sanctuary, we kind of go even deeper, because then you are committing yourself and you're there. You say, like, I'm going to test out a month. I'm going to test out 3 months. I'm going to dare to surrender to this. So with that said, I will see you guys on Patreon Sanctuary, who is willing. If you are new here on YouTube, share, like, and subscribe. See you guys, and see you soon.